What is up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself. Today is the return of Wild Arms, except it's Wild Arms Alter Code F, requested by Stephanie. The song is called War Demon. Very quickly before I get started, I am currently playing this game right now, Wild Arms 1, I should say. Twitch, Hey Uncle Jesse, and then the VODs are right here. So, as I was playing the game, I'm like 10 hours into it or something like that. The topic of Alter Code came up, and people told me that it's basically a remake of the original. I had no idea, so immediately I go search my backlog of songs requested, and there was some Alter Code ones. So I figured I would listen to those before I listen to, or before I play the game. So I already started playing the game, so too late. So as far as this song goes, I have no idea if I've heard it. Hopefully not. But also, it's the Alter Code version. So, in this case, hopefully I haven't heard it at all. But in this case, I'm going to hear this, and then I'm going to not listen to the original until I experience the original in-game. So, I hope that all makes sense. This is War Demon. I have no idea who that is. Probably a spoiler. I don't think it's who I think it is, but we'll see. All I can tell you in the meantime is the Alter Code soundtrack is pretty good. I know that for sure. From the two songs I've heard, pretty good. Anyways, War Demon from Wild Arms Alter Code. Ooh. The soundtrack is so good. Love the horn section in the background. I love the horn section up front. Ooh, leitmotif. Oh, yeah. Trumpet. Straight trumpet lead. Doo-doo. Listen to that drum. Oh. That was a key change. Ooh. Damn, dude. That's a weird timing. I love the rhythm changes and percussion choices change. Symbol. Damn. What a fun soundtrack. I'm glad. As far as I think that's my last Wild Arms request from the first game. I still have 2, 3, and other stuff. But I'm pretty sure this concludes my Wild Arms, both Alter Code F and original. I can't wait to hear the original version of that. It won't be here, but hopefully I'll recognize it when it comes. Now, I pretty much said the same thing with what did I say this with? A song I heard very recently, a couple videos ago. It was called Boomerang Flash. Kind of the same thing where it sounds very unlike the rest of the soundtrack. It's kind of intense and full of rhythm changes and like big drums. Now I am aware this is the Ultra Code version, so everything sounds a little more professional, real instruments, so a lot more experimentation, which is why I want to hear the original to hear that's limited version of it. But this is still really cool because of the chord choicing. Dun, 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 dun. But the claps too. There's a lot of different percussion choices. It's not just. I thought it was gonna be claps the whole way, but then it got into this big tom drum and then the tambourine and all that. So, and the song's called War Demon. It sounds very much like a song of that fitting title. Now, I think the main highlight for me, besides the whole intensity of it, I think this is the most intense Wild Arms song I've heard so far. Maybe. There was another one that I thought was kind of... There's Boomerang Flash, and then there was... Either way. Still, this is pretty intense. But the coolest part to me was the trumpet. Now, the original reason I got into Wild Arms at all is because it reminds me of music from Ennio Morricone, which is my favorite composer. If you've ever seen Western movies that he composed for Sergio Leone, that trumpet sound is quite... See, there's so many things I can talk about those soundtracks, but there's also so many things that make them iconic. The whistles, the twangy Stratocaster sound, the weird rhythms, and of course the trumpet. Doesn't get used a whole bunch, but when it does, it's so... I don't know if it's a trumpet or a bugle that they chose. And to be honest, I don't know the family of it, but I think the bugle's like the smaller one. But it sounds like that. And it totally nails it here. Hopefully the original has that same kind of trumpet lead. And not just this one. But that's what really gives it that whole spaghetti western thing. And the whole term spaghetti western, which I'm not even sure is like... I don't even know if it's like a term that's frowned upon or not, but... all that was is just... Italian directors filming these movies in Spain. I know it doesn't make sense. So it's like their take on the genre. So spaghetti Italian. But they essentially what Ennio Morricone did for those soundtracks. Besides, so I mean the stories and the movies and the director is already magical on their own. But the soundtrack is like another whole thing, and when the two combine, that's what makes it so special. And that's what inspires games like this and soundtracks like this. But what Ennio Morricone did is like something so monumental to me and to many others. Like look up any more Ennio song, they have millions and millions of views from around the world. Passed away not too long ago, but he left a legacy of just... He basically created a genre. And it's one of those genres that's so surreal because it's something that sounds kind of cheesy and silly at first. Like maybe when you're a kid, it sounds a little odd and wacky, but then as you grow older, you really start to notice the musicianship and how genius they were, especially for their time. And that's what's cool. Like it totally ages perfectly, and it's immortal. The songs are only going to get better, and that's why they're really cool, because it's just... I mean, every time I hear this stuff, I imagine being there at that time when it was made, filmed, etc., and just hearing it for the first time and just, whoa, So I'm always going to be very, very biased when it comes to this type of music, but also that there's a game inspired by his soundtrack. So it's really, really cool. I don't know much about Ultra Code F. I know now that it's a remade version of 1, which is what I'm playing now. And the music is obviously more like high definition. I don't know who or what War Demon is. I don't want to know because I don't think I'm there yet. I haven't heard the song. Sounds a little more intense, like more towards later. And I have no idea who that is. I don't think it's who it is. So, spoilers. Anyways, that concludes my journey with Wild Arms soundtrack on this channel. As far as music reactions, I still have other Wild Arms games, but for now I'm just continuing playing the game, which is great, but I'm having fun with it. So, that being said, thank you for the request. Thanks to everyone that you see here. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. I will see you all later. Take it easy.